Do you dream about traveling the world, but you're just not sure if certain countries are safer than others? Well, watch this video because I'm going to share with you 3 ways that I stay safe living abroad. And I'm currently in Johannesburg, South Africa. So, hey, my name's Jason. And in case you haven't seen the channel before, you see videos of me going around Johannesburg, showing you how beautiful it is. And also whenever I'm going through different other parts, I'm videotaping and showing you those type of things. But most importantly, I'm here talking to you about success, what it is, and how to get it in the 3 areas of life that I focus on, which are happiness, health, and wealth. And so, if this, like I said, if it's your first time, the definition of success by Earl Nightingale is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And I'm one of those. I'm gonna be real with you. I think traveling and living abroad is one of the most worthiest ideals that you can have, right there next to getting rich. So that's why I wanted to share this with you because a lot of times on some of my social media channels, when I'm showing people different areas, showing different parts of different of the town out here, people are always saying, "Be careful. Oh, this is going to happen. Oh, that's going to happen." But I want to really share something with you, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people realize. Johannesburg, South Africa, is still on the planet Earth, meaning there's nothing new here that's not done in any other part of the world. It's just certain things may look different. And so if you're not a seasoned traveler, for one, it can be hard and difficult for you to understand what areas are safe and maybe even what times of days are safe in certain places. But like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I left for the military when I was 18 years old. And I believe, how old was I? I think I was 19 when I was first stationed in South Korea and out there in military base Camp Humphreys. And trust me, trust me, like going from a young black kid in America in Dallas, Texas, DeSoto, Texas to be exact, to going to South Korea on the other side of the world, not having a lick of Mandarin, Korean, never even knew I would ever go there in my life. It was a culture shock. It was crazy, yo. It was crazy. But one of the things about me is, because I grew up the youngest of three. However, I grew up more isolated, and it wasn't like because of family issues, things like that. I grew up more isolated because I was 10 years after everyone. So everyone else in the family all had kids around the same time, and then I came 10 years later. So even when it comes to my cousins, things like that, I just don't have a deep family bond because most people don't realize like I was so young back then. Like I don't have as many memories with some people. A lot of people I just don't know. And by the time they hit their adulthood, think about it, I'm going into puberty as a teenager. I'm not trying to be hanging out with them and they're not trying to be hanging out with me. So it was just a thing that just naturally happened from the age gap. And so because of that, I've always been more of a loner, and it's been really easy for me ever since a kid just to, go out and do things. I remember when I first got my car, I would just drive places. I would just drive and just go find a new area out. And so not knowing that was something that was preparing me for the future, it helped me when I started traveling the world and going from not Seoul, 'cause I wasn't stationed in Seoul, I was down south in Camp Humphreys, but going to South Korea, trying to figure things out when you didn't speak the language, you never even thought of learning that language. It was an adventure, and I started really understanding how to get around there, and I was very comfortable there. In fact, if the 9/11 didn't happen, I would have probably stayed there an extra year because it was, it was really cool. It became a place where I could see, I'm like, yo, this could be home. Like, I kind of like this living. And with that, went back to the U.S. and now being a seasoned nomad or expat, as someone who's been out of the United States now for 8 years, and now I'm on my third country. I was in Central America in Panama and Medellin, Colombia, and now I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa. A lot of times people are always asking me, about the safety. Like, how do you stay safe? How do you do this? Like, why are you not afraid? And so I thought I'd just share with you the 3 things of why not. So the first one is I do time management. And this is something that a lot of people don't realize. Even as I'm filming this at 6:30 and it's a Thursday night, I'm in my house. Like that's what when I say time manager it means I manage how I spend my time, like what time of the day I'm doing my activities. Like it's deep, and you really want to start looking at that. And this is for people who are maybe looking to move abroad, who just want to start traveling, or even just in your own neighborhood. Like really think about some of these things because how are you spending your time of day? Like I can tell you from personal experience, every time I got into a fight somewhere or something like that, it was usually at a bar or a club. I was usually drinking. So I really manage my time on that. I just don't go around that type of energy anymore. And it's not saying there's something wrong with it. I'm just saying it's not for me anymore. Like I'm just more of a cool, laid back dude. Like I just like to chill. Like, I like to just like sit back, smoke my pipe, and just chill, man. Like it's just certain energies just not for me anymore. And if it's still for you, there's nothing wrong with that. But still do it in safer times. Like I can say from my experience in this life, the later it gets past, I'll say past midnight, usually the worst things, the possibility for something bad to happen increases. So because of that, I stay away from that time of day as much as possible, unless I'm doing some kind of work that got me where I need to be out that night. Like unless it's work, something that's going to be potentially make me money, give me a return of investment. I just stay away from giving any of my time to using any of those time zones for anything except for being in my house, at my house, like not someone else's house, at my house. And so that's just one of the things like usually when stuff are happening around places like I'm at home sleep. So the odds of something happening to me just significantly reduces that way. So that's something that you really want to think about. And then the second one, believe it or not, this one is one I see Americans make this mistake a lot. And I think it's because I think one, most Americans don't travel much. And most Americans, when they meet immigrants or people from other countries, they meet them in America. And the way the system of the United States is, you have to adopt to speaking English. Like you have to fit in with that American business type culture. So there's just a lot of I don't even want to say nuances because there's just a lot of things that Americans are just not, they don't have the access to because they're so sheltered as far as from the rest of the world. So what I've seen, and I saw this a lot in Central and South America, is Americans, a lot of Americans will come with these entitlements, and so they had a lot of lack of respect. And so, like, I really say respect is one of the second things that it's going to keep you safe, believe it or not. And it's sad you have to say this in this day and age, but like, respect goes a long way, man. Like, people are out here busting their butt. People are doing a lot. Like, no one's out here making money easily. For surely not that many people, on a daily basis when you go around. And so, like, treat people nicely, man. Like, when you have respect, it just goes a long way. It's not a lot to say about that. And that's one of the things that keeps me safe. Like, believe it or not, like, even when I'm in different areas and stuff like this, because I'm being respectful, people are saying like, yo, this dude is here with good intentions. Like, let me try to get to know him. Like, how did this dude get here? Like, and then we just have conversations. And then after that, people are usually looking after me. Like, even when I walked down to the bakery, everybody was looking at me because I'm probably the only big black guy who had a military backpack on with tattoos all over him that walked in there, probably ever. Like, so then when people saw me doing my little TikTok video, then I asked a couple of questions. Everyone was just nice. And then when they saw me walking on the streets, like, that's one of the things, like, respect will go a long way, especially if you living abroad. Like, the more people like you and they genuinely like you become family. And that's one of the things with me, like, I'd be honored when I get to talk to people, especially when people introduce me to their kids or their parents. Like, it's an honor to do that, man. And I really value that. And so with respect, you can really build genuine relationships. Some of the people that I love the most in this world are still in Medellin, Colombia. Like, I can't wait to go back and visit them and see them again. And you'll just be shocked, man. Like, if you take anything from this video, this second one with respect, like, this one will make, if more people actually had respect in mind as they were traveling, especially Americans, most of them would leave the United States in a day or two because they would be so happy with the quality of life that they could have. And the only thing that's really stopping them from having it abroad is usually that lack of respect that they have. And so then the third one is, and this one goes more towards Americans too. You have to understand perfection doesn't exist. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to move abroad, you need to be focused on why you moved abroad, not on what is irritating you. So that's one of the things when people are here, always ask me about load shedding. Oh, how you shedding treat me. I didn't move. I didn't leave the United States. I didn't leave Colombia. I didn't leave Central America for electricity. So I don't care about load shedding. And you have to kind of get into this I don't care mentality when you're living abroad, because you can't get involved into the complicated matrix of that new system that you're moving into. 99% of the things you're not going to understand. Some of, like, so much of the cultural things you won't understand why they're doing things. And then the other things is like, you're not there to change their system. So you have to just live your life in your own little bubble. And so that's what I do. Like, I live in my own little bubble within Johannesburg. Um, and, with that bubble, like, it comes with, I have a private driver that I use on certain days of the week. I Uber everywhere. I do a lot of walking. All of those things are part of my little bubble that keeps me less irritated, because I know, like, I don't want to sit in traffic with a taxi. I don't want to have to wait on all of that. So don't let the little things of that new system, and what I mean by system, just the way that city or that country is organized, don't let it get to you. You cannot let those things get to you. You need to focus on your main goal, on why you wanted to leave and go to another country, and you just pursue things that help with that goal. So to give you an example, for me is freedom. It's freedom, and also, just finding new, different type of plant-based or vegan foods. If you watch my YouTube videos or my TikTok videos, I show, like, I'm always going to different markets. I'm going to the vegan market. I might go to the one this Sunday. Also just doing more things for freedom. So I'm thinking of this Saturday to do this ice bath challenge. That's going to be out in, I think, what's the name of that place? Fernberg or something? Somewhere out there. I think it started with an F. Or Fort, not Fortburg, that's here. Fern something. I'll figure it out. But, like, I'm thinking about doing that. Like, none of those things involve electricity. So when load shedding's hitting, I just read a book. If it's in the middle of the day, I go for a walk. If it's late at night, you know what? I just meditate, listen to some music on the phone, then I go to sleep. Like, I wake up, there's electricity again, at least at some point, where I can either cook or make me some tea. And if not, you know what I do? I just order an Uber and I just go to a coffee shop and just go have some tea and just breakfast. Like, I don't let those things bother me. Like, if you ever read that book, Stop Giving a Fuck, you got to stop giving your fucks, man. Like, there's just things you got to say, look, I don't care anymore. And when you come to that place, like, it's peaceful. And because you're in that place, like, you're not irritated. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. Like, as we're irritated throughout the day, we make mistakes. We read the energy wrong. This is how accidents are more prone to happen. And this is one of the reasons why, people are not trying to mug me. People are not bothering me in the streets, because I'm not in a rush. I'm not irritated. I'm focused on everything around me, and they can see that I'm focused on it because I see them before they see me. And then when they acknowledge that I saw them, they're like, oh shoot, how did he know? Like I'm reading the energy all the time. Like I'm not focused on, oh, I'm on my phone, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Even when you see me shooting videos in the middle of the street, I'm in a stagnant place. I'm stopped. Or I'm in a walkway area that I've already walked up and then I decided to come back and film again because I know who's all in what area, what it looks like, if there's any spot where someone can try to come behind. Like there's so much more to this. And it's because like I'm just not irritated. And you will be shocked like how much just having a couple of moments of clarity and being stress free will just clear up a lot of things in your day. And you'll start avoiding so many problems because you'll see them a mile away. And with this one, this didn't happen overnight. This came from time, and just really working on myself. Like the person I was when I first left America, moved to Central America, living in Panama, I'm nowhere near that dude now. The guy that I want to be 6 months from now, I hope I'll be like, man, I'm nowhere near who I am today. And it just takes patience. And one of those ways that test that patience is things like load shedding. It's so for me, like it's been a great teacher for me to just really find other ways to occupy my time, and I would also find other ways to keep my mindset focused on what I really want and why I'm there to achieve it. And instead of getting caught up in the nuances of, this is what I deserve, or, like it's hard to explain. I didn't come here with the entitlement. Like I don't feel entitled. Like, oh, you gotta do this. Like I can find other things to do to make me happy. Like I'm just in a state of my life where victimhood, I'm just not into it anymore after what I had to go through with losing my wife unexpectedly like that. It just really flipped a switch in my mindset on how I want to live my life for me, and my happiness is up to me, no one else. And so hope those three things really help you, man. And also let me know if you like these videos where I'm talking to you about my experiences of traveling abroad, how I stay safe. And let me know if any of these are things that you're using also, because let me go over them again. It's time management, like manage the time that you're going out and things like that. Second one, which I say is the most valuable one, is respect. Always have respect for others, man. You never know who someone is, and you never know who's really interested in getting to know you. But maybe you were just too disrespectful, and that's what changed how that whole relationship or that situation happened. And then the third one is understand perfection doesn't exist. Stop letting little things stress you out and focus on why you chose to travel or leave your home country. Because when you just focus on those things, you're going to see the things that normally irritate everyone else. They're not even in your way. And so hope you got some value from this. Hit the like button, share this with others. So you never know who out there is probably thinking about traveling, but scared because they're watching all of this mainstream media, which is telling them how scary it is and what they can and can't do. And I'm telling you from someone who's a seasoned traveler, been living abroad 8 years now. And I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa, where everyone told me I shouldn't have came here. It's going to be so dangerous. I'm telling you, I love this city. This is a great city full of great people. And you can just take my word from it. And then most importantly, just remember this. I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.